Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss OSPF configuration using interface subcommand. In one of our previous video, we discussed that how to configure OSPF using network command. So that was another way to configure OSPF on Cisco routers. So in that particular video, we discussed in detail this set of commands, which the important command is this network command. So with the help of this network command, we use some IP address and the related this wildcard mask. So with the help of this command, the iOS of the router is going to check every interface. So each and every interface, for example, in this case, this interface, as well as this interface. So it will check each and every interface and it will check its IP address. If the IP address, so for example this one, if this IP address matches with this IP address which is given in the network command, so matching actually occurs with the help of this wildcard mask. And if they both, if they match, for example in this case this says that as per wildcard mask, it says that if the first part or the first octet is going to match, then enable OSPF on that particular interface. For example, in this case, 192 is going to match with this 192, and as per with this wildcard mask. So once the match is found, that particular interface will be enabled with OSPF routing protocol. So this was something we did discuss in detail in our previous video. But today we are going to discuss this user interface subcommand. What's that? This is, I think, a bit easier than this network command. So here, instead of going to each and every interface of the router, this command is going to provide us a way by which we just go to that particular interface. For example, in this case, you can see this is interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So of course, this interface should have an IP address. So we have to configure the IP address, of course. And then what we have to do, once we are in that particular interface, and if you want to enable OSPF routing protocol on that particular interface, then what we do, so we go to that particular interface and then we use this command IP OSPF and the process ID and the area ID. So by using this command, we only enable OSPF on that particular interface on which we want to configure it, because sometimes we don't want all of the interfaces of the router to be configured with these OSPF. So this becomes a bit broadened or flexible. So in this case, we become very specific and we only go to that particular interface and we enable the OSPF on that. So sometimes this command may miss because of this wildcard mask and this. Otherwise, we need to be very careful in using wildcard mask. But here, instead of worrying about these all things, just we need to go to that particular interface and enable OSPF on that interface. So yes, with this discussion of using interface command to configure OSPF on Cisco routers, let's move to packet tracer to see that how it works.